Alright guys, making a shorter video today just because I really need a break, but I still want to put this out. So I'm not gonna put out all the price changes. So you see, I just put the highlights. So UPCs are up 40 and ETPs are down 5, and people are following the movements of the bundle displays. So you see bundle display demand rises. It went down to really low price for 151 and Prismatic, and people are buying the dip. You see 2 sold yesterday, 2 sold today after not having many sales. 1414 is a really low price for booster bundle displays, and there's still a few more left from NNC games. I forgot if they listed more or not. Just a really good price for prismatic bundle displays. Yeah, there's a really cheap one for like $900, ridiculously cheap. They're all bought up, and now the price is back to 1550. So you gotta know the market and know these opportunities. Usually it's not always this extreme, but definitely a lot of opportunities to buy things up. UPCs, I've been talking about how, like, even though the price is down from the high, people have been buying these up. This is a very targeted item. You can see like a lot of investor money's in this, or just collectors who just want it, and people keep buying it once it drops below 600. And there's a cheap one for like 560 yesterday. I don't really see it right here, but you definitely see people buy like a lot of cheaper ones. All these prices are like less than $600 for the most part. For the ETBs, they dropped about $5. So one sold yesterday, one sold today. And I remember there was that seller who put a lot of the cheaper 151. I don't really see him. So maybe he removed it. That's CTC, whatever. But yeah, this is cheaper at 395. These should be like 415. So yeah, this seller is pretty cheap. There's 2 of them. You can save on shipping. It's like 387 ETB if you buy both of them. Booster bundle displays I already went over. There's still more if anyone wants. Then people go to 1500 and then 1575. For PCTBs, finally had a sale for PCTBs. First sale since October 8th, and also this has been kind of dip. Like this finally dips like 900 compared to 1,000, obviously $100 off. And this has been like most of the price has been around 950. So anything less than that, like this is definitely a discount. So $50 off. There's still one left. For booster bundles, you're seeing booster bundles sell kind of pretty stably around like 18 to 25 a day. So you see our 16 sold yesterday, and they've been pretty stable around $100, trying to get past like 102. It's just gonna be really crazy once one's finally really out of prints. Number of packs sold was about 20 packs sold yesterday. Pack price is still around like the $15 range. Like you see 1530, there's 69 over there, and then most of the prices around 1550 or more. For Blue Waters, they're at 182, so around same price as yesterday. One sold yesterday, and yeah, I'm still kind of iffy on getting Blue Waters, especially around these prices. Because I'm just wondering if they're gonna print more like right before rotation. There's still time. And so you'll see, yeah, just the ones around 180 to 190. Binders still around the same price, 144. Mini tins all same price. Celestial October 2nd, and then Snorlax promos sold about 816 yesterday. They're about 18 or so dollars. All right, are you ready for the Mega Evolution Part 2? It's already starting, guys. The graphs are taking off, and I don't even think we officially got Wave 2 yet, but you know, Mega Evolution slowed down a little bit, and now we're finally starting to get the hecticness. 139 boxes sold here. Demand is up for a lot of listings. Prices are continuing to move a ton. 138 sold there. If you add up the other 2 listings, like there's like 18 for each of them, ends up being 172 sold per day. And yeah, like these prices dropped like, you know, 280 for the most part. Like this one seller here's like this all 280, and that's a really good price for a lot of people. And you just see it wasn't like a huge buyout from one seller, but a lot of like around 275 to 280 prices sold yesterday. You look at the price differences, like, yeah, this box is down $6 from yesterday. ETBs are back up. The Gardevoir PCTB rose back up. It's at 228. It's more than the Lucario one. It's weird. Like the Lucario one kept dropping. It's at 210. And then PCT for Gardevoir is at 220. I don't know what's going on with that. And then the normally T's went back up. You know, there was a lot of drops in ETBs yesterday. Gardevoir is at 90 and Lucario is at 93. They're both up about $3 or $4. Cases are down, still going down. They're down $11, and that's still 283 a booster box. So like the loose boxes are about the same price or cheaper than the case boxes. So yeah, this is extra 20 boxes, 18 boxes sold for this listing. Most of the boxes are around 300, 305. So you know, not as much demand. Cases are still selling like every day. Like most days are selling like 3 cases a day. very strong demand. And there's still some price bunch up because people need money for the second wave probably. And then for Lucario, yeah, the PC to me is not a lot of activity, but like Lucario kept dropping. Gardevoir, not a lot of activity either. Only sold 3 yesterday. I want to see what they sold for. I guess some of the cheaper ones sold. And then it's back up to like 228. So I don't know. Does anyone know about that? Was there like a shortage or something of this? And then for the Mega Lucario ETBs, you see demand spiked up to 72. Normally it's like 45 or 50. Same thing with the Gardevoir ETB, spiked up to 62 compared to like 40 per day. And then booster bundles, they're still around $53. They went up a little bit to 80 sold. All right, Destined Rivals drops to reprints. Just kidding. Destined Rivals drops to 375. 7 sold yesterday, and seeing some pretty good deals for Destined Rivals. 2 of these are 375, then it jumps to 385, and then 390. So it's only, like, it's really weird. They just have 1 box each. One is a really big seller, so like usually expect more. But yeah, some cheap Destined Rivals available. A lot of the supplies been bought from the PC, from the Pokemon Center drop, and yeah, let me know if you're getting any. For me personally, it's a little too expensive to get this price point. I'd rather just wait in the future, see if there's any opportunities, and buy other things right now that are more safer investments. For booster box cases are selling pretty good. You see, like, it sells like every other day. Last couple of days been selling every day. One sold yesterday, one sold the day before. These have been around 2,600. That seems to be kind of the floor right now. People are actively buying at that price. If people need more capital, they will add more, because all these sellers have around the same price. So probably one of them, you're probably gonna see some deals just because they need capital for the next whatever releasing next. And yeah, there's a lot of competition here. There's a lot of sellers. For PCTBs, they're selling a little better actually, about 2 or 3 per day. They were like really slowing down. You see like 1 per day in this time period from like early October. And then like, yeah, until like October 13th, that's when demand started picking up to at least 2 or 3 per day. So these might start rising, but these have been about 350. Normally to be still around 112, selling about 12 per day. This is cheaper one, 112, I think it was 115 or 117. Booster bundles at $55, sold 45 yesterday, and still pretty steady around 55 to 57. All right, for Paldean Fates, the main change is that the bundle displays keep dropping. They're at $11.50 now, down $15. And yeah, I remember I bought these for $1,200, and I kind of wish I bought these newer ones. Love of cards over here. I saw these in my booster box video, and yeah, now you're seeing a lot of price around $11.50, and this isn't gonna last forever. So if you've been wanting these, yeah, I said yesterday we're getting to the point where the price per pack is gonna it's gonna just make complete sense. It's gonna, because like $1,000, these are a definite buy. So as we get to 1,100, maybe 1,050, that's kind of when a lot of people are definitely gonna scoop them up. There hasn't been a sale yesterday, but there's been people buying up recently. Like there's buy ups like kind of every that looks like 4 or 5 days. So you'll see a bunch more sold. For the booster bundles, they're still around the same price, around 97. 6 sold yesterday, and yeah, these are still trying to head up. For packs, you see 22 sold yesterday, a little more normal. These are still around. Actually, I think this went down a little bit. Still around this is still like 13, 19 now. Pack price doesn't really matter as much though, I guess. But you're seeing some cheaper packs available. 13 tier for South MTC. They raised their price, but you're seeing prices start to drop a little bit. For PCTBs, you're definitely seeing more demand for PCTBs at this lower price point. 2 sold yesterday, 1 sold today. They finally dropped below 400. I want to see what people. Yeah, the people bought the ones at 380. Now there's even more. These are at 385 each, or 380 each, and $15 shipping. But if you buy all 3, it's basically 385. Still a really good deal, as the price is going back up to like 410, 430, and then for the normally TB is still 0 yesterday, 1 today, and it's still just really strong around 280 or 282. All right, so for Crown Zenith, the main change is that the booster bundles are up about $1 or 2. They're about 123.68. They were 122 before, so up 168. I said before, it's one of the best selling Crown Zenith products, especially considering that there's always low quantity and the price per pack is so high. Like this is $20. This is over $20 a pack, almost as close to the ETB. Like Seeing Sky is only $15 a pack, so it's a product that's done really well. And I'm like, we seem to always be teetering around 125, more supply gets added. But I think people are just slowly kind of liquidating, and they always have like a small supply of them. So I really think there's like a huge shortage of Crown Zenith booster bundles. For ETBs, people still buy them like pretty much every day. You see one sold today, one sold yesterday. The graph is just kind of broken, and people are still paying around like 220s to 230s. And yeah, you see a bunch of 220s over here. So some cheaper ones sold recently. For packs, the number of packs sold was about 5. Just gonna look over here. There was about 10 more. There's about 18 sold today actually. And yes, you're seeing a lot of pack prices, you know, around 14, 15, 14.30. That's kind of where some of the more quantity is until you get to really large quantities. Sea and Sky is still around 210. Another one sold yesterday. No one's buying jam sneakers. And I really think that this isn't going to change until people buy out these 11. And then for PCTVs, yeah, really didn't follow the pattern. People bought one every other day, and there's been no sales for like 3 or 4 days now. All right, for Prismatic, the cases have been spiking in demand a little bit. You see over here, there were no sales for like this period over here. And you see about 5 sold, you see about 2 sold over here. So people have been buying more of these ETB cases. Price has been dropping to the 1600s. So you see 1675, 1690. But you're definitely seeing demand go up for these as people are buying the dip over here. I feel like $1,700 is kind of like the breaking point where like people are like, hey, this is probably kind of the low point. But we'll kind of see if that. Obviously, if it's like 1500, that's really close to normal ETB prices. So that's kind of a definite bottom. People like to keep some sort of margin. As I mentioned in the 151 section, yeah, booster bundles. People are taking advantage of the deals. So these are ridiculously cheap, around $900. Sold 3 yesterday. All of them sold. These are back to like 1550. For ETBs just dropped a little bit below 140. So 14 sold yesterday. And if you look at ETBs, they dropped about $2 or $3 at 137. I mentioned before how the $140 mark is a pretty important mark because that's kind of the previous high. And yeah, there's not a lot of ETBs. Like there's only this one seller, and then it goes to like 140. This is really cheap because if you buy all 6, you can. It's pretty much like 128 or 129 ETB, so pretty good for the current price. PCTBs dropped quite a bit. So 2 sold yesterday. They're at 390. For love of cards, they list a lot of discount stuff. So there's this one below $400. Pretty good pickup. This is down about $12 or $13. I know a lot of people are probably PCTB hunting. People are very clearly going after the really high, the sought after items. Like for 151, you see for the UPC, Prismatic seeing for the SPC as well. So these dropped 13. Versus like bundle displays are back up 625. The card boxes are down $2. But yeah, so PCTBs are a little slower, admittedly, but still, like, this is nothing compared to $1,000 price point at 151. Booster bundles still selling really well. 90 sold yesterday, and yeah, they're going to be hovering around 60 or $6 something. Don't hold your breath on these. These are more longer term investments, and for at least this market, by longer term I mean like a few months to a year. For packs, the number of packs sold was about 113 packs. Pack price is still staying really strong around $870 over here, and it goes back to $880, $890, so still very close to $9 a pack. For SPCs, yeah, I'm just noticing, like, you know, I like to look at the graphs to see, like, you just see a little slight uptick in demand. 5 sold today, 5 sold a few days ago, 3 sold the past few days. Like, it's just a little higher than before, and you see these random spikes. And yeah, these have been pretty stable around like 360, 315, 320. Lucario boxes, you're seeing like not as many like packs being bought out. We're getting to the point where Lucario boxes are going to rise. This is kind of your last chance to get these on Facebook Marketplace or whatever, cheaper prices, because these are probably going to rise. They'll drop back down later on, don't worry. But yeah, people want, like, you could still get these for like, you know, 110ish plus or minus something, before it gets really expensive. For maintain displays, no recent sales. The EV promos sold 54 yesterday, pretty good. All right, Phantasmal Flames, about 50 boxes sold between 2 listings. So you see about 31 sold yesterday here. And then I think about 3 more cases sold. That's just under 50. So cases still selling pretty well. These are probably going to go down in my opinion. Because, you know, people need the capsule, but yeah, cases still, people are really interested in cases, buying like 3 per day or more. Booster box is still selling amazing. We haven't reached the point where we hit like hundreds yet. I think it's a really interesting scenario because we have the mega situation coming. So we're just being hit by, we need a lot of capital. We need uh we need money to buy Omega, and then we need Phantasmal Flames. And I don't know about this people LGS. I don't know if they paid for the second wave of Omega beforehand or not. If they didn't, then they're probably scrambling for capital as well for that. And they're getting Phantasmal as well. So I think Rudy might cover that. I don't really know details. If anyone knows that, let me know. Especially if you have distribution access. Yeah, Mega cases still around 2075. ETBs are at 146. They sold 18 yesterday, 20 today. Demand's kind of level. PCTB is still around 600. Zero still yesterday. There's been a lot less demand for PCTBs, I feel like, this time. And then bundles sold 60 or $67, sold 13 yesterday. All right, for joining together, the main update is that the cases are finally selling. So you see like this no sale since October 8th. It was like about 8 to 9, like about 7 to 8 period where there were no sales. Finally, 2 sold yesterday, obviously for lower price, 1575. Number of cases left around that price. There's 3 cases left, and it starts rising to like 1587, and then 1625. So hopefully you'll see these start rising again. Yeah, suddenly people are starting to buy them again. It's just a really good pickup, just a really cheap case. And you also see some extra demand for the boost box. So you see like 4 of these boost boxes sold today. Price is still around the same. All the joining together prices around the same as yesterday. No major price updates, and you see RG breaks still let's see for 257. Pretty good price. And then this one over here is about 252, also a pretty good price. And this one, like there's a few sellers selling for about 250, 253. It goes back up to 270. So this is more set to rise. There's only fewer cheaper sellers. One did sell yesterday. And then PCTB still around 190. One sold yesterday. Still, yeah, we're seeing more 190s unfortunately. So PCTB not as active. All right, Black Bolt White Flare. So you're seeing Black Bolt PCTB demand pick up. You see 4 sold yesterday, 3 sold the day before. I know a lot of singles have been going up, and this is rising back to like, you know, the 215, 220 range. There's not as much of a price ladder. Like there used to be like a 220 to 240 range. But yeah, I think that people are starting to buy up. It's really a decent set. And there's been a lot more activity. Like unlike other sets who they don't really have much going for them. Like, you know, Journey Together won't, like, there's not really much except for like Fairy and like the promos and stuff. So for White Flare, these are 195 PCTB. You're also seeing that pick up. White Flare is really extreme. No sales from October 10th to October 16th, except for one of them. Then you're seeing 2 sold per day. These are still hugging around $200. White Flare, Black Bull, normally TB is around $88. Normal price, 12 sold yesterday. White Flare, normal price, $82. 18 sold yesterday. Bundles are pretty high at 57 for Black Bolts. You see 20 sold yesterday. And yeah, these are heading towards $60. So there's been a lot more. These have been rising quite a bit. I know like a lot of people, they want to liquidate their White Flare, and Black Bolt, it's pretty easy to get rid of their Black Bolts. White Flare is at $51. It's a $1 more. 12 sold yesterday, 13 sold today. It's just not as sought after as Black Bolts. Our Final Fantasy collector boxes keep dropping. They're at $11.65 now. You're seeing some big price drops. This is down $30 for collector boxes. Playbox cases are up $90. I'm guessing someone bought the cheap case. Playbox is down $5. Omega packs down $3. They're at $115 now. And then the collector packs still resilient, up $4. I know Rudy made a Final Fantasy video yesterday. I wonder if that maybe people want to open some packs. But yeah, cases, boxes, they go up to 6 sold, which is, I'm always like 5 is kind of my borderline of like, yeah, demand's not really that good if you're getting down to 5. 6 is okay. There's one really cheap ones for level cards. It goes back to 1200 after that. So just a good deal for anyone who wants it. For cases, they're still at 7700. None in the last couple of days, and the price still hasn't dropped just because there's not as many undercutters anymore. There's only 2 sellers at the lower price right now. For normal packs, sold 14 yesterday, so pack demand still rising. You've seen the last couple of days, like 14, 8, 11. There's been people wanting to buy the packs. And usually if you're buying the packs, there's more to open, because if you're investing, like, don't buy the packs, buy like the boxes or whatever. Just makes way more sense. But you're getting to the point where MVP Sports and Games, they were the undercutter of 123. They're kind of back in business. So there's been a little more surge for prices for the packs. Omega packs sold. They've been selling better per day, about 5 per day. 6 sold yesterday. And yeah, right now, oh, did I? No. Yeah, these are cheaper than loose packs. It's just amazing. So I think people are picking it up because they kind of see that disconnect. Japanese hasn't been selling. Really sad. For play boxes, Yeah, they're down a few dollars. 11 sold yesterday. Demand's kind of dropping to like 20 to like 10 for playbox cases. Yeah, you see 4 sold today, so demand spikes for this. People bought up all the cheaper ones around 1200, and now we're back to 1300, so we're back in business. Um, Gift bundles are at 180 and selling about 11, like 10 or 11 per day. 11 sold yesterday, so yeah, it's pretty good, but they're still stuck around 180. Spider-Man's at 460, sold 28 yesterday. It's been selling about 40, so the man kind of dropped for that. We're stabilizing around 460 right now. And then play boxes for Spider-Man's at 132. Only about 21 sold. Demand's kind of dropping for that. That wraps things up for this video. I hope you walked away with a better understanding of the market. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more deep dives in the Pokemon market. Tell me what's the next big investment you're considering in the comments. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you all later.